Why do I feel bad when a bad person is forgiven? Hello everyone, welcome to my channel where we learn about forgiveness. Have you ever been confronted with questions on forgiveness? Or currently in a situation where you need some answers on forgiveness? Actually, no one can escape being confronted with forgiveness, therefore I believe you need to watch this till the end. I have been confronted by people who wish to understand this virtue of forgiveness, and there are recurrent questions we need to address. The questions are more of practical than speculative, so that in one way or the other, everyone is involved. In this video are 100 questions from people and more, that are essential for our knowledge and practice of forgiveness. Expect the response to the first question in our next video. You will be losing a lot if you missed out. Stay tuned till the end as we journey through the questions. You will surely meet a question that relates to your situation. How do you define forgiveness? What are the aspects of forgiveness? What is the relationship between love and forgiveness? Do I choose to forgive? What happens to my offender when I forgive? Why do we have to forgive? Why should I forgive a person who has hurt me? Why is forgiveness important? Do you do yourself a favor when you forgive? Why do people not forgive? Why do we need to forgive someone when they know what they are doing? Why should you forgive instead of holding grudge? How does forgiveness impact your health? What are the steps in forgiving? How do we forgive people who has wronged us? How do you know if you are forgiven? How long does it take to forgive? How to forgive someone who is not sorry? How do I forgive someone for betrayal? How do you forgive in a marriage? How do you forgive someone who does not recognize they hurt me? How do you forgive someone who is not present anymore? How do I learn to forgive someone for whom I do not care? How do I forgive someone I do not know? How do I forgive someone I despise? How do you forgive yourself? How do I forgive when I do not know what happened? Why can't I forgive? When someone forgives, why do they still talk about it? Why is it hard to forgive deep hurts? Will I forget, if I forgive? Do I choose to forget? Should we forgive and forget? What happens when I do not forgive? The effects of holding grudges over time. How do grudges change a family? How do grudges change old age and death? How do I ask for forgiveness? How do you know if you have forgiven? Can I force someone to forgive me? Is forgiveness required? Does God forgive everything? Is it correct that I need to forgive before praying? Is forgiveness similar to judgment and condemnation? How often should we forgive? Do we need to forgive if the trespass continues? How many times do I need to forgive before the wrongdoer repents? How do I ask God to forgive my sins? How do I know if God has forgiven me? How can I get help in forgiveness process? What are advantages of forgiveness? What does the church teach about forgiveness? Can we forgive God? What is the importance of prayer in forgiveness? What are the healing powers of forgiveness? Does forgiveness mean that one should not be angry? Why do priests forgive sins? Is it practical to start afresh after forgiving someone from serious hurt? Is there any difference between forgiveness and reconciliation? What is difference between forgiveness and mercy? What are the dangers of lack of forgiveness? How can I grow to be more forgiven? What if one dies without confessing one sin to God? Why do I feel not forgiven even after confession? Can God condemn us forever because of our sins? What if I retaliate and ask for forgiveness? Is it genuine? Does it mean that those who do not forgive do not love? What other virtues can we gain from forgiveness? Why do we find it difficult to admit our sins? Do you do a favor to someone when you forgive the person? Why is it said that forgiveness is a selfish act? Which is the best way to apologize? Is it our obligation to intercede for another when they hurt someone else? When is the right situation to intercede for another, over his or her sin or crime? What is the fastest method of reconciliation? Why do I feel bad when a bad person is forgiven? Can we ever avoid hurting another? Is there anyone who does not hurt another person? Is there any time when we shall overcome every sin? Why do I find it difficult to forgive myself? Does forgiveness cancel justice? What is the social dimension of forgiveness? How can parents teach forgiveness in the family, without spoiling the child? Why is unforgiveness common in adult, but not in children? What prayers can we say on forgiveness? Why do I feel that it is humiliating to apologize? When I forgive, am I condoning sin? If I forgive, do I stay in an abusive situation? How quickly must I forgive? How do I know if I have forgiven? What does it mean to confess? Is forgiveness always necessary? What if the person does not want to be forgiven? Should we forgive before the person changes? Should we share our problem of hurt with the third party? What should we teach our children about forgiveness? What if the person's dignity makes it impossible to confess? Is there a limit to God's forgiveness? If we must forgive those who do not apologize, must we confess before God forgives us? What if the one I am angry at is God, for making man able to hurt another? Thank you for watching till the end. If you made it to this end, then you have already started learning the virtue through passion and patience. Do subscribe and hit the bell button, so as not to miss out on any question.